Oh, good morning, everyone. Or actually, damn, good evening, everyone. Hmm. Sorry about that, guys. There's a little bit of a mess here. Anyways, happy Cinco de Mayo. Um, you know, not exactly Mexican, but hey, you know what? Good enough for me. How about just on time? I'll settle for that. Yeah, hey, I've had a long day today. Um, hello 4M. Hey, Parallax, Jay, Critter, and Gabby. Uh, we're gonna give it a couple minutes, see who shows up. Oh, I have an echo. Hmm. How about now? Do I still have an echo? Uh, okay, yeah. If nobody else is saying echo, then I'll just keep going with it. Hi, Nana, 1776. Thanks for coming in. Yeah. I always hope you guys are having a great day. Mm. Oh, I poured that a little strong. Oof. Hi, Lauren. Thanks for the sub. Yes, Matthew, as always, thank you for waking up and coming on in. So I'm gonna wait a couple minutes. If you guys are new, it's the first time. I generally try to wait like 5 minutes, give everybody a chance to show up. Um, so and kind of just talk about what's going on. But apparently, oh, you posted in the chat. Okay, thanks, Critter. You are a lifesaver here. Okay. Hmm. Well, I'm going to cheat here, and I'm going to snag this because they can't stop me. And I don't know if Court TV is going to be douche canoes too. Hmm. So we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, but no, guys, I know the big thing going on right now. Yeah, the Dave Chappelle video. Yes, I forgot that could be a good one too. I hear from Nick. Enjoy your commentary. Thank you. I appreciate it a lot. I really do. Yeah, I got to get that one fired up too. Sorry, I was screwing around a little mainly tonight, not getting ready. So let's see here. Come on. All right, that one's all set up. Let me see here. All right, guys, hold on. Where is? Fuck, I'm trying to find it. I want to see this Dave Chappelle thing without the frickin' TMZ watermark everywhere. It's a little bit ridiculous. All right. Oh, holy cow. We got a lot of people in here now. I'm not muted. Muted. I am not muted. Nice try, though. Well, thought I was hilarious. Well, I'll probably change once you're watching this, so we'll see when it's me carrying the show by myself. Oh, Mystery Maven, hello, how are you? All right, well, I guess it's time to start. Um, and I don't know. It's the kind of thing, it sucks when I do this once a week. I am not muted. I know that I'm not muted. You guys, jeez. Okay. The one thing, as much as I'd kill myself if I had to do this every night. Like, I don't know how some of these guys do it. But when you do it every night, you can stay current and cover all the topics. Um, I don't because I only do it once a week. Um, but yeah, I know the one thing I wanted to say first, just because it is kind of important, the whole Supreme Court thing. Um, it's a very scary precedent. These decisions they make are wide ranging and carry a lot of weight. What they can do, they can affect billions of dollars and many people's lives. Leaking it, I think, was a big problem. I don't condone it. Whoever did it, now people were asking, like, well, have they broken a law? And there is no law to break. I mean, they have not broken a law. Maybe they theoretically have intimidated a federal judge by doing it, but if they just leaked it to give the information out to everybody, I mean, there's no crime necessarily. It's not confident. It's not classified information or anything like that. But, yeah, so I know some people are wondering, like, well, what can happen? I mean, they get in trouble and they probably won't ever hold a legal job in the future because no law firm's going to hire you if you are. And why am I wearing these like an idiot? Because I'm not listening to anything right now. Um, yeah, they can't trust you to be confidential with things, and no client wants you to be on their file. So, whoever did it, I hope it was worth it. So, that was just kind of something I wanted to say. Now, there were a couple things that did happen this week I thought were kind of cool and interesting. Yep. No law firm wants a snitch. Very true. No law firm wants a snitch. And when you're a Supreme Court clerk, you get to work for like the top law firms in the world. They want you, they highly value you. It's a prestige thing, but also you're generally fairly well read on law and very good at the law. It's also, you have access to the Supreme Court unofficially, which can be helpful sometimes in the future. Those people generally make like 225, 250K on their jobs once they get done being a clerk. So it is a very high status thing to be a Supreme Court clerk. Was I ever going to be one? Yeah, I was going to be one, but I turned it down because I didn't want to sell out for the government. And no, not at all. No way in hell I'd ever get hired. I don't think I get hired to be a dog clerk, the dog warden's clerk. So, it seems like if you work for the Supreme Court, there would be some kind of NDA. Yeah, but it's been more of like it's been more of an unspoken thing. Um, Hold on one second.
Baseball team right here.
So yeah, it's not, there's not really, it's meant more of just, there's always been, not a lot of discussion about what happens. You don't talk about what you did while you were there. There's just stories that kind of work out, but nobody ever confirms them or denies them. It's like an unspoken rule, that what happens there. So there really hasn't been, and I don't necessarily like the idea of somebody in a court with an NDA like that. At the end of the day, the courts are public organs. They should not be cloaked in secrecy like an NDA. Now, they should they be cloaked in some sort of ethical propriety that we don't just disclose everybody's business all the time. Sure, and that's one thing, but to NDA people, that's not how I think a court should be run. Yeah, there are ethics issues, sure. There are ethics issues, but anything legally, like is somebody going to prison for like wire fraud? No. Um, MJ's asking, is it possible they won't find the mole? Yeah, they might not. Now remember, there's only so many people. The Supreme Court's not like there's only a couple hundred people that work there. But from there, you've got the Supreme Court justices, the clerks, and then I assume there's some other people that have access to the opinions, but it's not like Bob the janitor's, the one who did this. And also, there might be more than one mole. There might be more than one leaker. It might be more than one person. So if that's the case, they can kind of help each other hide. Really the biggest thing you face probably is because the FBI and the U.S. Marshals are involved and the, Capitol Police are involved, you're now lying to federal agents in the course of a federal investigation. So that's an 18 U.S.C. 1001. It's what Martha Stewart, it's what General Flynn, it's what a lot of people get caught up on when you lie to the feds or they claim you lied to them. Whatever happens in the Supreme Court stays in the Supreme Court. Yeah, but I know Maven understands this. Even for attorneys, it's very much, it's got its own lore and history. So it's a very, very special place. The leakers on the left, they definitely won't find them. I mean, I assume that's where that person came from because it's somebody who's not in favor of the opinion. Because if you were in favor of the opinion, you would keep it quiet and keep it under your hat until it was time to release it. Doing this now, I think that explains some things. Well, so since this isn't something that has happened before, do you think this is something they'll make a law about? Stuff like this kind of has happened before, but not to this scale where it was fully drafted and ready to roll. I mean, if you've read it, and I know like Uncivil Law covered it, I read it on my own. That is a fully polished and ready to go. I mean, there's probably some tweaking that would be done, but that's a fairly final draft of Alito's opinion. Yes, this is a little interesting that it's this late in the game as well. But as far as making a law about it, I don't think so because, number one, that's a separation of powers issue. Congress passing a law, doing something in the Supreme Court like that, I don't know. I don't know if that's really their purview. Should they be making that law? No. I think this is an issue of the Supreme Court trying to police its own integrity and its own secrecy. I think they just need to work on cleaning house. Otherwise, I don't necessarily like the idea of just, we'll make a law about it. I mean, that's not always the right answer. Just sometimes there don't have to be laws. Well, if there's no legal ramification, they'll definitely get Clintoned. The proper term is Arkancided. Suffering from a case of Arkancide. No, I don't think that person, whoever did it, they'll get hailed by whatever groups they're allied to or whatever circles they run in. They'll hold that person up and say, oh, look how cool they are, the whistleblower. Or, they believe just like us. One of us. One of us. I mean, that's what's going to happen. And, that's just the tribal nature of everything nowadays. So, it's not like anything bad's going to happen. I mean, I could see them getting chased and hounded away from places if they do stuff in life, but other than that, yeah, that's it. Nothing else is going to happen. Yeah, maybe they're going to jump at NBC, or CNN, or whoever. I mean, and if they were on the right, they'd probably get a job from like Fox News or OAN or Newsmax. So, yeah. Both sides should, but it I also understand for one side of this the significance of this ruling can kind of overshadow the fact it got leaked because it is earth-shattering and a massive sea change for them. I mean, because for the past 50 years, they've been able to say, oh, it's settled law and they don't have to worry about it. Now they just got advance notice they were getting the rug pulled out from underneath them. So it is what it is. And as much as I hate that phrase, can't believe I said it. I hate that phrase. What pearls of wisdom did I miss? None. If you come here for pearls of wisdom, geez, you're going to pull a goose egg every time. So yeah, that's really it with that, guys. You know, and I didn't include it, but I know it's something I wanted to cover. Yeah, I know, I had to say it. Was what happened with Dave Chappelle. I thought it was interesting, especially the guy's not going to get charged. And I find that very... Yeah, I mean, I saw that, but like I said, that's the phase of governance and political discourse we're at where, you know, there's going to be that back and forth, and after a while, nobody cares anymore that they're not, you know, hey, you're not holding yourself to your standards, you're not doing it, I'm not doing it. After a while, nobody cares, and I think that's kind of the stage we're at. Also, when you're the party in power, you can kind of do whatever you want. Yeah, I mentioned that in the Disinformation Board video. You know, that's been kind of the theme of government for a very long time. So yeah, didn't know if you guys saw. I saw this and I thought it was really interesting with Dave Chappelle. The guy's not actually getting charged with anything. And also, I didn't know this, but he's not getting charged. He's going to face some misdemeanors, but he's not going to face any felony charges, which blows my freaking mind. So, and they showed, I have one, I saw an article earlier. It showed a picture of the weapon the guy had. And it's, all right, come on. Dang. Oh my God, you're killing me here. Where was it? Where was it? Okay, yeah, here it is. You know, as much as I don't like TMZ and their douchebags, I'll use them. Oh, Josh Chandler, hey, how you doing? An ultra mega get a hold of the map. Jeez. Oh, MJ, you think this Dave Chappelle thing was a publicity stunt? I don't know. I don't know. Because when you see the video, the pictures of the guy, he got beat real bad. I don't think that was a joke. Yeah, there's no felony charges here. I mean, obviously, there's Dave Chappelle, who, you know, funny dude, you know, living down by Dayton, Ohio. The LAPD pushed for felony charges, and this is the interesting thing. I heard he had a fake gun, but it's actually a knife. I mean, that brings out all the jokes about the guns with swords and the swords with guns and the guns that shoot swords and the swords that shoot guns. But yeah, he had a... Like, that's just a weird one to hold. But I guess, you know, he wants to hold it that way. He can. But yeah, that's serious. He could have killed him. And who knows what he was going to do with it, but I'm sure he wasn't there to say hello. So he's going to face some misdemeanor charges. And if you were to do this, that's generally what happens. You face misdemeanor charges of, like, if you try to go on a field, you can be charged with a bunch of different things that happen. For like disorderly conduct, getting into certain areas where you're not allowed to be, disruption of, services. There's all kinds of things you get charged with, but generally speaking, if you pull stunts like this, it's normal. But yet with the knife and everything like that and the fake gun, I'm surprised that's not a felony alone in California, and then carrying the knife concealed is probably another felony. So yeah, maybe he's got some mental health issues, who knows? I don't know. And if he does, I think that's something that should probably be looked into. Now, if he was just like, LOL, I'm going to do it, yeah, that's a problem. But the one part of this I thought was interesting, and I don't think a lot of people wanted to or really talked about, was what happened to the guy, Isaiah Lee. He had a relatively bad day. And I can't wait for Sky News to try to come after me, because they bootleg Dave Chappelle, they bootleg TMZ's stream of this. But
Table is one of the most prolific
producers
that hip-hop has ever presented. The mighty man Lil. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for hip-hop history.
And then, yeah, you can watch. Ooh, he's having a rough time. As you see him run, yeah, they whoop him. And, they're not going to let us see what happened to him, I guess. Because what happens to him is... Yeah. Yeah, if you guys are watching that, yeah, there's a scrum of people, and they are whooping the crap out of him. It's interesting because a lot of these bodyguards, you see him kick that guy right there, that big dude's kicking him, and they're working him over. You see the picture of them, they had a rough time. You have to be careful when it comes to stuff like that. Why? Well, you have the ability to defend people. If you're a bodyguard or security, obviously you're there to protect your principal or the person who hired you. Dave Chappelle, sure, they have the right to protect him. The guy was away from Chappelle. They had him caught. They were going to get him arrested and turned over to the police. He's no longer a threat. I'm surprised those guys didn't get in trouble, because that guy got his ass kicked. And that's a dangerous thing to happen there. Is it self-defense in California because words are violence? No. I just think that's an issue of the new district attorney there is very big on trying to, do we have to charge everybody all the time? I'm seeing your channel grow. Keep going. Thank you, Lane. I appreciate it. Yeah, they got him good, but yeah, all those guys who are beating him, they're liable. Just kind of like those dudes in Texas in the Texas gym fight. They kick him a little too hard, and those bodyguards and bouncers are big dudes. So that could be an issue. No felony, but chance of civil actions. I mean, if he tries to, the guy who got tackled, Dave Chappelle really, he tries to sue that guy. That guy's probably crazy. He has no money to his name. So you sue him, that's not going to get you anywhere. Could he try to sue the bodyguards? Probably. He could try to sue them, but I don't think any jury's going to be sympathetic to him. So, but yeah, he's not necessarily, and yeah, Chappelle and his show kept going, so Netflix really can't sue him for disrupting the show. But if he had shut the show down, they could hold him liable for that. Lost revenue, all kinds of things. But once again, this is some poor Yahoo. He's got no money. Dave Chappelle went to stomp on him after he's already apprehended. Yeah, if you charge me with a knife and all that, I'm pretty sure I'd kick you once or twice. Of all the people I'm willing to I'd be fine with that. Yeah, he got what was coming to him, and sure, that's one of those deals where it's not necessarily legal, but it was very moral what happened to him. Would I defend him? Yes, I would. Heck yeah, that'd be awesome. Like, especially if he went to trial, because it'd be like Dave Chappelle sitting there on the witness stand, and so I'd be like, Mr. Chappelle, how are you today, sir? So that'd be kind of cool. But I think this guy probably is going to get, if I were defending him, or if I got called up, hey, he's getting arraigned tomorrow morning, I'd meet with him, sit down with him, and I'd probably want to have a psych eval done on the competency evaluation. Maybe a not guilty by reason of insanity plea is going in my mind. Because you got to be a little bit Looney Tunes for this. And I talk with him, try to figure out what happened, and go from there. Are assault less than $750 or misdemeanors with no arrest? I think it's almost 1,000 in California now. But also in Ohio, misdemeanor theft is up to $999. So, you see Chandler Hollison got new representation for the appeal. I'm glad you reached out to him. I did not reach out to him yet. He never got in touch with me. So whoever did that, they beat me to the punch. They sniped him out from under me. They stole my opportunity for glory. Are N-word towers allowed? Well, Jay, you probably get timed out. I generally don't have too many rules here. I try to treat chat like Somalia, but I don't necessarily want people running around antagonizing people for the sake of it. Really, we can make fun of and talk shit about who the subject is or me, and that's kind of the general rules. Okay, MJ, is a joke. Chandler Hollison, when he got sentenced, he was saying, "Will somebody out there please?" He's like, "Will somebody out there, will an attorney please help me on his appeal, on my appeal?" And I said, "Chandler, I got you." And I was like reaching out to him, like, "Let me help you." So it's kind of a joke, but no, I really did not engage with Chandler Hollison. I have nothing to do with him or associate with him. That was all done in jest. I'm not licensed in Wisconsin anyway, so I can't do anything about that. Towers, one piece. Well, if that's what keeps you calm, I don't know. Seems like a lot of things would set you off. I should have got his. Well, yeah. If I sat down with him, I'd be like, "Look, I'll defend you for a price. Just write down the recipe." Yeah, but that's the kind of person he is. That was the kind of person he is. That's what he does. So, you know. So I mean, I don't know if we should be too surprised about that. So, let's see here. He and Amber should get married. They're both scary liars. Jeez. Yeah, well, yeah. As much as I don't like Amber, that would be a very bad day for her, and I don't know if she deserves that much coming to her, but she's got quite a bit coming to her. Let's see here. Where is? Okay, this is one. Jeez, maybe SpaceX will help him. God, is Chandler's a Stubbies or Sweet Baby Ray's kind of guy? I don't know. Maybe he's like a dry rub. You ever thought about that? Or just kind of like some simple, mustard and seasoning guy. You never know. They did not put on really. They didn't do a very good job with their defense, but I can't fault them because I don't know the whole story. I have a feeling Chandler told them what he wanted them to do and not do, and they listened to that as much as their ethical rules allowed, and they still fulfilled their obligation of representing him. But I have a feeling Chandler said, "Don't bring my girlfriend into this." because there were so many times they could have. So, yeah, let him know I said hi. Give him my card. Don't really do that, please. This is one that was actually sent to me by the lovely Miss Critter. Was it her or mentioned it? I thought it was her that mentioned this. Anyways, I'm giving her the credit, so that's fine. I thought it's very interesting. Oh my gosh, we're in the Chandler. We're in the Chandler Halderson jokes now. Mom's limbs with a dry rub, very tasty. Yeah, it's the same way Johnny rubbed Amber. If you want to make a joke, like, I only eat the bodies. Cat totally didn't cut him up with her knives. Yes. um, I mean, I would approach it from the girlfriend did it with me, and it wasn't all my fault. And thrown it in that she was the main perpetrator and he was along for the ride. I mean, that's the way I would have done it, but I don't know why they didn't do it the way they did. I can't. They weren't taking a dive. It's just I don't know their strategy, and without asking them and having them sit down and tell me why did you guys do what you did, I can't say they did something wrong. They may have had a legitimate reason. Remember, we have not seen the entire case file for Chandler Halderson. And for something like Chandler Halderson, you're talking about banker boxes full of documents. This is not a simple case where you can fit it all in a binder. That's something to think about there. Girlfriend's leftovers in the freezer. I think they would have checked already. Okay, guys. Till something new happens to Chandler, I think we can. I don't think any news is going to happen with him until we find out he escapes. Is it the prism? Yeah, I don't know what they must have made a deal with her, and then turned out they didn't need her. I'll have to check that out. I will have to check that out. Well, thanks for stopping by, Sue. Yeah, we'll get to Amber in a bit. I know probably a lot of you guys have questions about it. So there is, and I think yes, this is something Critter wanted to look at, and I think this actually interesting is the prison break out of Alabama. Yeah. Vicky and Casey White is actually where we're going with this now. That's actually perfect timing. Gosh, I'm so derailed tonight, guys. I feel like I'm not running right, so I apologize. If you're new, it doesn't suck this bad usually. It's a little bit better, but it still kind of sucks overall. So Alabama corrections officer and inmate have been on the run for 7 days. It's a little awkward. There's Vicky White and Casey White. They aren't related, and all Alabama jokes aside from the Whites. Casey White was being held on murder charges, and he had a romantic relationship. with Vicky White, and she snuck him out of jail and took off with him. Oh, that was from Matthew? Oh, well, thank you for, giving that one up, but yes. So, yes, she took him from the jail to the courthouse before she told him she wasn't feeling well, but she never showed up, and she just took off with him, which is very interesting. There's a little bit of sound.
Was she
here,
able
but
to get away from
it's
those
really interesting. It
cameras
shows her going in to get him.
What we do now have, though,
And
is
it's
this video
interesting. You can't
of the
just take
last
people
moments
out.
before she
Generally,
took
there's always,
Casey White
unless you're
away
the police
from that jail. So we'll
transporting
show you some
someone,
of this video now. You can see the
there's
Sally Port.
a lot of
You can see
lockdown
them walking
movements,
out. It's
even
a
in a
very
local
casual
little
walk.
jail.
Obviously,
But
he's
yeah, she
still
helps
a
him get
very
in the
tall
car,
guy,
and that's
he
the
gets
last
in the
they
back
see
of
of
the
him.
car. And then, if we come back out to where I am now, we're in this parking lot for one reason, John. This is the parking lot that police believe the car was stashed.
Yeah, it's interesting. If you live in
when they
Alabama,
made their
I keep
getaway.
my
We're
eyes
about
peeled,
3.5
especially because
miles
the
away
guy
from the jail.
is
It took about 8
being
minutes to
charged
get to
of
this
murder.
location.
So
Vicky White apparently bought a car.
they probably will kill
beforehand.
somebody else along
she
the way.
parked it in this location, and this is where they made that exchange
for the
from
guy,
the police car
that's
to the
pretty
car
good. He
they're
was
now
able to
looking
manipulate
for. So
a
that is
prison
something
guard
that they
like
were
that,
trying to
'cause
keep
that's not
close
an
to the
easy
vest.
feat.
Someone released
for the woman,
some of this
I mean, I can't believe
pictures
she's
of that car,
giving it all
and then
up
the
for
sheriff
some
had to talk about it. If
loser
that's
in
not
the
enough
jail, but
twists and
that's
turns for
the
you,
whole
John,
psychological
take a
manipulation
listen to
thing.
a woman who
Happened
used
in
to
New York
date
State a couple
the
years ago,
suspect.
actually. There's a guy who did that. Oh, mute the stream, boss. Oh, sorry. Yeah, assistant jail warden, yeah. At least her monogrammed handkerchiefs won't change. Jeez. Oh, hold on. Okay, apparently it's you're fine. We're only here for the beard anyway. Well, that's good. Jesus, here's messed up. Yeah, no more like sucking big old floppy donkey dong. Usually Sean does a segment and we time to see how long it takes to figure. Yes, I didn't do that last week, and I won't do that this week. So there. I'm gonna 2 weeks in a row. That's 2 in a row. It's gonna happen, and then next week's gonna be 3, and that's called a streak. No, 30 minutes from the You don't kiss our cousins. Well, yeah, you don't. You do more than kiss them. Anyone think she's still alive? Oh, I bet she's still alive. At least for while she's got some usefulness. At least your monogram handkerchiefs won't change. Yes. Yes, that, Yeah, that at least saves her time. She doesn't change her name on her checks or anything like that, or social security card. She can just take his last name and be Vicky White. No, I was not dress shopping. I can't fit in a dress like that. I don't know if I listened to Sean was part. Oh yeah, sorry guys. Yeah, sorry. I catch what happened. Mute the video. Yeah. Oh, that was a whiskey sip, don't lie. Oh, I know. I poured there's a lot in there with it. It's quite a regal beard. Jeez. Gonna make my girlfriend jealous. No, there was up in New York State, 2 guys kind of conned the guard into helping them break out. She didn't go anywhere because she chickened out and immediately turned herself in. But they ended up getting shot by the police, so worked out for him. I'm here for the flabby arms. Do some jumping jacks for me. Tell you gotta message me privately, dude. We gotta work that out. I don't do that in public. Not for free. No. I mean, you can't tell I'm not muted. Oh. She could hyphenate and be white. Jesus. I mean, there's only so many places you can go. So, they're probably around. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll talk about it because I know you guys probably all watched or have questions about it. Yes, white squared. Johnny and Amber. As a defense attorney, I generally tend not to believe victims of domestic violence anyway because I believe my client. I will also state from my prior experiences, I generally have the idea like 30% of these are fake or fabricated. Sometimes maliciously, sometimes because the wife or girlfriend thinks I'm going to end the fight by having the police be my relationship counselor or the relationship referee, and they call the police and the police yank that guy away. Oh, hey, I appreciate it. 7-Eleven, no worries. Amber's a lying liar who lies, yeah. But no, generally speaking, I generally don't believe most witnesses because I've seen so many times where witnesses lie or victims lie. One of the more most memorable ones I've ever had. I was in Toledo. I was out of law school. I was in the public defender's office, and I was handling the guys who were getting arraigned in the morning. And the guy was charged with domestic violence. And the allegation from the victim was he threw a pan of grease on her. And we had our hearing first thing in the morning, the morning after it happened. And I told my guy, you should contest the protection orders and everything, make her say what happened. And her story was he took a pot or pan with chicken that was frying in it and that grease, so obviously to fry chicken you need some hot bubbling grease, and he threw it at her and threw it all over her face. I don't know if any of you guys know this, but boiling grease, if I throw it on your face is going to look like melted bubble gum pretty much instantaneously. And I just asked a question or two. I said, can you explain, was the grease there was chicken in the pot, so was the grease cold? I said, was it boiling? Was it hot? She's like, oh no, the chicken was cooking in the grease. And I looked at I looked around. I said, I said to the judge, we should probably get her sent to the hospital if she hasn't been there yet. Because, she could have been burned. And she looked at the judge and said, oh, I wasn't burned. I hopped in the shower right away and washed it off. Judge looked around and kind of said, And then he let my guy out on a bond. He didn't dismiss it outright, but it ended up getting dismissed later. But yeah, that's why I don't generally, I've seen too many times where people have misused reporting. So I do not like it. Do I think all of them are fake? No, there's certainly times where I've defended people and I know they cause domestic violence. But there's enough of them that are false and fabricated. You have to take note of it, and it has to be in your mind. Not that, it's possible, but there's a decent chance it is. Oh, thanks, Mark. Whatever role she was acting. Yeah, so getting back to Amber, whatever role she's acting for, God, it was awful. I don't know if you guys heard me. I was on with Friquet today mostly. This is a actor who thinks they can write. And Amber sounds like she watched TV, watched YouTube, and read about what victims of domestic violence have really gone through and tried to put it all together. But it was horrible at the end of the day. I hope she never works in Hollywood again. She's making a mockery of actual abuse victims. Yeah. And from now on, in cases all over the country, people are going to say maybe she's like Amber Heard, completely lying. Because I will say all these grandiose attacks she's mentioned, at least in my experience, whether prosecuting or defending these grandiose violent outbursts where, you know, you've been beat for minutes on end and things are smashed and you're cut up and really injured, that's like the high water mark of it. That's the final straw. That's when the police finally show up or you've had enough. To have these high intensity level things keep happening and happening and happening is not normally how it goes. There's generally kind of like ups and downs, ups and downs. But for Amber, it seems like every time Johnny's almost killing her. Yeah, it's not very, wasn't really doing it for me. Amber loves cavity searches. Yeah, the whole thing. Also, I would point out, if you weren't aware, the whole thing with Russia was brand new. She never told anybody about it. And the same thing with the whiskey bottle being shoved in her nether regions. That was completely new today. So, does that mean she's lying? Yeah, I would say so. I mean, that's weird to hold on to these dangerous things for years and years on end. Oof. F or just me? Probably just you, I guess. You can tell by... Gosh, women are so mean to each other. Jesus. Yeah, for charge of cocaine, you can domestic abuse me all you want. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, but it sounds like it's fun to go hang out with Johnny Depp when he's been using coke and drinking, howling out the window and holding his dogs, and he probably gets all coked up and bought the island. So I think it'd be a fun time. Yeah, she has all these cuts, but there's no blood. She got punched in the face so hard it broke her nose, and she got black eyes. Yet within like a day, they're gone. It's like Wolverine level of healing. Yeah, Zens, this is 100% correct. They can't actually argue, so they call the police. They know that they will win. They don't win the argument, but they won for the night. Yeah, if you guys are, if you are a guy or a girl out there and you're in a relationship like this, get out of it now. It's not going to get better. All you're going to do is end up with a criminal record. That's going to screw you over immensely. So just get out. Wicked Minx. I have trouble believing an actress who claims damage to her face, but never sees a doctor to ensure her facial injuries heal properly. Her livelihood is based on her looks. Yeah, none of this makes sense. Especially, yes, her face is what gets her roles. You want to protect it. I know there's some actors, like in, models, like hand models and different types of models, their body parts are insured. I assume for people like Johnny Depp, he probably has an insurance policy. Amber, she probably doesn't, she's not important enough to have an insurance policy. But yes, I'd be making sure my face healed properly. I'd be going to surgeons and, making sure it's good to go. But once again, that just shows you it's all fake. Al Green was doused with a pot of hot grits in the shower. Oh, jeez. Whew. That would suck really bad. Well, I agree with this a bit. Leave anybody who calls the police on you unless you actually committed domestic violence against them. Hey, remember, just because you did it, doesn't mean you're guilty, okay? Yes, this is important, but just because you did it does not mean you're guilty. Just something to think about. Oh, hold on here. I scrolled down too far. Well, hey, Zents, I don't know. If you're in Ohio, you can reach out to me. Hold on. I normally put it in there, but I didn't. If you're in Ohio, I put my email address down there. You can get a hold of me at. I don't know if I'd be able to help you, but I can at least talk to you. Otherwise, get in touch with an attorney, like tomorrow morning. Start calling around, find an attorney you can work with. Because time is of the essence. Because eventually you will run into the police, and it'll be at a time you don't want it to happen. But number two, the longer it goes on, the more stale your evidence, things that might be able to help you get. So the sooner you get in touch with somebody, the sooner you might be able to help yourself. And I sincerely mean that. And that's really the best legal advice I can give you right now is get in touch with an attorney and start trying to figure out a game plan. Sorry to hear you're going through it. Hope you beat it. Yeah, I think this cross will be a lot better. I know a lot of people thought the other cross with Dr. Hughes was going to be, this just absolute bloodbath. I think they were, if I honestly had to guess, they know Amber has to testify, so I feel like they're waiting to, instead of beating up on everybody else, they're going to beat the brakes off Amber. Why? Because she has to go up there, and I think with her making up all these claims now, they can really hammer her on them. And yeah, I know that girl, Camille Vasquez, she was just sitting there in the back the whole day just sharpening her knives. I mean, she is just going to butcher Amber. Yeah, like I said, it's not the first time I've ever heard that happening or dealt with it happening. One of the stories are true. She'd have massive brain damage, maybe. But I'm more concerned with the bottle thing, and I think I mentioned this earlier today. If that had happened to her, she would be in the hospital for severe trauma. I mean, she'd probably be in an intensive care unit. That would be brutally devastating on her body. Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, Zents, good luck to you, brother. I hope it gets you. Hope you get to where you're going on this one. Hope you get your justice. I really do mean that. Yeah, and MJ, I think you heard me mention that too. Yeah, she had a concussion check on the phone while she was waiting to go on with James Corden. You can't do a concussion protocol over the phone. You have to sit there with the person. You can run a couple different tests, but you can't do it over the phone. Yes, I don't know how many pounds of pressure does it take to break a wrist. She could be at the brink of death and not seek medical attention because she's a magical healing person. Yeah, that's the other thing. This is a 10-day gap where she's got to remember everything. And here's the deal. That's too much to remember. I mean, they are going to beat her to death with their own words. Frumpy looking. Yeah, she looked like she was in a, I don't know, Little House on the Prairie or something. It was kind of weird. Yeah, I've never done that myself, but yeah, I can, punching a glass window and you're looking at your tendons in your hand. Oof. Hope that turned out okay for you, because that can really be bad. I don't believe her. Wouldn't it have been better for him to fight the allegations of the restraining order? In hindsight, yes, but remember, back in 2016, everybody in Hollywood, the way their divorce went, this was kind of standard for how they handled these divorces. They tried to keep everything down low. Nobody admitted to everything. Sign here, sign here, sign here. Here's a restraining order for a couple of months. Everybody's happy. Boom, boom, boom. Since Me Too happened, that blew everything out of the water. But no, I think if you would have talked to his attorneys and everybody back in 2016, you would have said, what happens if this all blows up in your face? And they would have laughed at you. But I don't blame them. Just like asking the guys who run the Titanic, what happens if the iceberg is such and such a size and you hit it just like this and you rip open all the compartments? They'd laugh at you. So I don't think it was anybody's fault back then to come up with the agreement they came up with. Yeah, 7-Eleven Vice did a article, and it's about all, just woman victims. Yeah. Didn't she have a coke problem? Yeah, she drinks, she does coke, she does Molly, she does mushrooms. Yes, so yes, compared to the rest of us, but she's a good drug user. She knows when to stop. She knows when she's had enough. But yes, I think it's interesting. She doesn't think she has a problem with substance abuse herself. Be right back. Going to say hi to Joe. Well, tell Joe I said hello. Yeah, Johnny Depp sounds like fun, and you wouldn't have to worry about somebody making up that specific lie. Amber, I don't know if you'd really want to get near Amber. That sounds like a bad idea, too. I'd want to stay away from them. Both, if it came to sexy time. Oh, yeah, no, there are a bunch of things Amber did on the stand. There's also video, and actually, here, let me... Hold on here. There is a clip of Ben Chew at some point when Amber's talking about Johnny, and she mentions Kate Moss. There's a clip where it's in split screen mode, I think because Long Crime's got 2 monitors up. Ben Chew turns around to Camille Vasquez and he goes like this, like fist pump, like they must have got her. She must have fallen into some sort of trap. So, yeah, all the other issues, Amber kind of stopping and looking for the camera, I think they should bring that up to the court. Every time she like, oh my God, it was really, really scary, and I don't know about... And, she's looking just to make sure she's got everybody following her. Yeah, that's all bullshit, and I think the jury will see through it. But I think there must have been a trap that got laid for her regarding Kate Moss, because I didn't know this. Johnny Depp, apparently, God, he's Vanessa Parody, Kate Moss, like, Winona, like, good for him. So I have a feeling she screwed up somewhere, and she's in trouble now. And their plan must have worked 100%, because that clip shows Ben Chew very, very happy. I don't know where it's at. I can't find it anymore. I saw it earlier when I was eating dinner. Yeah, nobody saw anything there. So it's just all made up. It's with people who are dead or are not around that she doesn't have to use their name, so it's hard to impeach that kind of testimony. Yeah, you can hear how abusive she is in the recordings. Let's see here. Just trying to see. Amber's testimony is Russian disinformation. Yes. Amber is countersuing. Yeah. Well, it's going to be heard at the same time. Like, Amber is now presenting her case. So part of her thing is she's defending herself, but she's also countersuing Johnny. So she's trying to show, because Johnny said it's all a hoax. And by claiming it's a hoax and claiming she's a liar, Johnny Depp defamed Amber. So Amber's job is now to show that, yes, Johnny was an abuser. And if she shows that, she's won her case. And if Johnny shows, no, I'm not, then he won his. So they're trying to disprove each other, mainly is the point. Johnny's trying to disprove Amber, and Amber's trying to disprove Johnny. I think that's probably the easiest way I can describe it. One of my friends called, and he asked me to explain it, and apparently it made sense to him. So I'm going to keep with that. They're trying to disprove each other. Stop highlighting. Okay, Zenz, I'll leave you alone, man. Sorry. I'm sure it's been asked ad nauseum, why is there a 10-day break? The judge is going to a judicial conference, and that's something that's probably been set for at least over a year now. For judicial conferences, judges from all over the state, they come, they meet, they go to seminars, they work on... This is how a lot of them get their continuing legal education credits. As they are attorneys, they have the same legal education obligations, but they also have to do other stuff related to being a judge. I don't know, in every state, some states they have to do it on top of the work. Some states it's part of the work they do. But they go and they learn, they talk to each other. They learn about, hey, here's Judge so-and-so. He's trying a different way of doing cases or doing X, Y, or Z. Or they have, hopefully for this judge, she's taken some classes on the rules of evidence, and they talk about certain rules of evidence. There might be, usually there's something about like how to handle the media and different things that have been going on. There might be a judge who comes in who handled a very high-profile case from somewhere in the country who might come in and speak to everybody and teach them about what I went through. Here's what you should look at, things to consider. Those are very well scheduled in advance. They're kind of a big deal. So she's going to that. And she said, she made it sound like don't talk to me while I'm on vacation working on this. And she really means it. You don't want to be getting a hold of the judge while they're out of town. That'll be bad, but I assume that's going to happen at some point a couple days in. Preserve for posterity. Okay. Okay. Oh, God, I'm a bunch of minutes behind. Holy shit, here. I got to catch up. Damn, you guys are like talking like bosses. Yeah, I know he did, but, nobody got in the way and helped Johnny until the dust settled. When the, tornado was roaring through at a fever pitch, nobody had his back. So, yeah, great, James Corden could say that now, but where the fuck was he back then? Oh, yeah, no, they're going to show those. Hey, is this a picture of you? Yeah, were you on the James Corden show? Yeah, do you recognize it? Yes. Because if she says she doesn't know where that came from, she's going to look like an idiot. But yeah, they're going to show it and say, hey, you look fine here. I guarantee you they're going to do it. And I would be doing that too. Enjoy your commentary on the other stream with that awful host. Oh, thanks. Just admit it. You like it. You like the fact I have a smaller nose. Gosh, I gotta catch up. You guys are like roaring ahead here. I might do that for something like closing arguments where we're done with everything and the cake's already baked, regardless of the case. We'll see. Zoic20, thanks for stopping by. Does the decision have to be unanimous for JD to win? He's not doing a full 12-person jury. I think in this situation he's gonna have to be. I know Kurt on civil law. He's a Virginia attorney. He mentioned something. This is not a standard jury type case that you might get, but yeah, I think he said Virginia. Everybody's got to be unanimous. Some states allow split verdicts, but this one I think has to be everybody. But remember, he doesn't have a full jury of 12 people. It's less, and that's by law in Virginia. What would be the easiest way to cross to get Amber to open the door to her 2009 DV arrest? I think she's already opened the door when she said, I know you don't hit people. And she said, you're not supposed to hit anyone. That I think that automatically opened the door. She's like, it's wrong to hit people. Oh, it's wrong to hit people. Really? Well, isn't it true you got arrested for hitting someone? And she'll say, oh, well, that was, my victim, the alleged victim in that one said it wasn't true. And that's where you bring up maybe Amber's expert and say, Dr. So-and-so, you said victims, minimize and try to say it didn't happen. Based on all your logic, does that mean Amber assaulted Tasha or Tasha? And Hughes will have to tap dance her way out of it. Curry's going to say that's exactly what happens, and Amber's the type of person that would do that. So there's ways you could bring it up. You'll just, you can ask her. And I could see Amber because she runs off the cuff so much, and I guarantee you she's saying things that her attorneys were not prepared for. If she says something especially like, I'm very peaceful, I wouldn't hurt anybody first, I only defend myself. That would be the ultimate way for things to come in. When you claim you're a person of peace, I don't fight unless provoked. Well, what about 2009? That would be how that comes in. There might be other ways, and I think it's really going to depend on what Amber says on her direct, because she might accidentally open her mouth and say something stupid on her own. Is her dad alive? I think both her parents are dead. Right, Harris Riley. Thanks. I haven't seen you around here before, but awesome. Yeah, it's gonna be help me, Camille. I'm stuck. Yeah, it's gonna look like a snuff film. It is going to be rough. The only way I can describe it, it's probably gonna be deeply pornographic when Camille gets done with Amber. Shaw, hey, thanks for sticking around, Shaw. Seeing you. Glad to see you. I know we haven't had really trials going on right now, so you can drop some snarky comments and all that. But hopefully we'll have something coming up. Yeah, there's impulsive behavior on both sides. Well, no, Wicked Meeks, that's actually what's happening here. Johnny said this is a hoax. It's all bullshit. I didn't hit her. She's lying. Well, that's enough for Amber to sue you, because now he's defamed her by calling her a liar. So, yeah, Elaine, it was the Kate Moss reference. Yeah, I think Amber must have stepped on some sort of landmine, and it seems like she doesn't realize she did it. But I don't know what's going on there. Remember, Ben Chu and Camille, they've been around for a while, so they know this case front to back, back to front. That must have been kind of a victory of opportunity that Amber stumbled into. But we'll see. Uncle Bubba, Legal Spite's team was not buying it today. Even Kurt didn't buy it. I don't know why they bought it yesterday. It was all bullshit yesterday, but hey, that's how it works. We all can agree to disagree. We look at the same facts and have different conclusions. Can judges talk about cases with other judges? She's not supposed to go out, like, when she's at the conference. They can ask, like, hey, how does it feel to be in charge of this or that? Or is it cool that Johnny Depp is in your courtroom? And she could be like, yeah, it's kind of neat. She could say, oh my God, this thing is crazy. I can't, I would have never thought I'd be in this situation ever. She could say, this is insane. I don't ever want to have a trial like this ever again. She could talk about things like that. She can't comment on who's got a better case, what she thinks about the case. But she could just say, yeah, it's crazy, man. But generally speaking, these judges will know better. Judges are pretty good about that. So they'll just leave her alone, and they'll just be like, hey, Penny, yeah, how you doing? Like, yeah, love the weather, huh? Yeah, she should brush up on some evidentiary issues before she comes back. Yeah, there's probably a lot of golf and a lot of drinking, but it's not like a swingers convention, Jay. It's 7-person jury. Or I'll agree. Yes, James Corbin is that guy from England who's on Weight Watchers commercials now. Wow, I gotta catch up. Damn. No, I'm not caught up on Nancy Brophy. I know that there was like a COVID outbreak and they had to stop it and they start all over again. Oh, okay. Kate Moss opens door to Amber DV. I don't know how. I guess I'll say it like this. I don't know enough about the case to know how Kate Moss and what happened with Johnny allows Johnny to go after Amber for her domestic violence issue. Maybe that's it specifically, or maybe they have like, oh, she opened this door and we can squeak in through it, or maybe she just sunk herself. I don't know. You might know better than I do. I don't know, and not a very lucky guy at this point. Yes, there are a bunch of rumors about Elon Musk being involved somehow. Well, just saying Johnny abused Kate Moss, generally speaking, that's not an allegation that immediately opens her up to being attacked. But it must have been, they must think, coupled with everything else she said, they have enough bricks on that scale to allow them to go after her. But I think we'll find out when Camille gets the chance to question her. Oh wow, I finally caught up. How old is the kid? The kid's very young. Only a couple years old. Okay, just turned 1 7 days ago. Alright, so only a year old. The judge's super spreader event. Could see. Oh, well, thanks, Austin. I appreciate it. Mom passed away within 2 years. Yeah. Yeah, her parents died in the middle of all this going on. Does Johnny Depp have a Twitter? No, but Steven Bearders, or whatever that guy's name is, his aide who runs Infinitum Nile, he has a Twitter. And he's been talking shit. And actually, maybe we'll pull that up. Steven Deuters, that's his name. That's the guy's name. Steven Deuters. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this is some spicy stuff if you guys want to see. All right. Share screen. Chrome tab. Share. Oop. Yeah, put that down. Sorry. So yeah, this is Steven Deuters. He is the CEO of Infinitum Nile. That's Johnny. This is Johnny Depp's thing that he founded. His film production house. So this is him. This is Johnny's, longtime assistant and friend. So we're going to skip down to this one here. He just says, if you can lie about donating money to sick kids, feigning absolutely everything else is a dawdle. I'll just let you guys read the rest of this here. Yeah, I'll just leave the rest of that to you guys. Oh, oof, Harris, oof. Oh. Yeah. So there's more. I saw some other stuff earlier. Oh, that's interesting. Johnny Depp's going to be playing a movie where he plays Louis the 15th. That'd be kind of interesting. I think he'd be good at that. I would watch that. I guess this is a movie Johnny Depp did. I don't know anything about it. So they're pushing the movie. There were some other things he'd done where he was talking. Where did it all go? Yeah, there was a bunch more. I must have missed where it was at. But he was talking some real shit about Amber. You're driving, you can't read that. Okay, well, he just said, if you can defraud a hospital for little kids, then lying your ass off in court isn't a hard feat. Just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. Exactly. That tweet definitely means Duders is out of being a witness, right? Sorry. I mean, I would assume so. If he was going to be called as a witness, he's a very pro-Johnny witness, I would have brought him in. But they didn't because I don't think he's necessary. So, no, I mean, I don't... Amber's probably not going to call him. I know he's probably been deposed, but he's definitely not going to come in. But, yes, if he was acting a fool on the internet, yeah, that definitely means he's not coming in. Maybe off topic, but I was curious if you had input in the inside the possibilities of Heard's team to face judiciary misconduct for some of the things they've done in trial. No, they're not going to. Let me say, how can I say this without making it sound like a bad thing? When you're an attorney and you're in trial, I would argue it's your job to push the limits. Now, when you're doing civil trials, it's plaintiff defendant. You go for it. If you were in a criminal trial as a defense attorney, Austin, you're new to here, but everybody else has heard me. When that happens as a defense attorney, you go hard in the paint. You push the limits. You push the rules. You do everything you can for your guy. I mean, you max it the fuck out. You take advantage of things. You cause problems. You raise havoc in hell. When you're the prosecution, you should be playing by the rules. You shouldn't be pushing things. Now, if you're pushing theories of a case and you can support things and argue that way, sure. Push into new areas, new territory. But you shouldn't be pushing the envelope. I would argue that's for the defense to do. But even then, there's times where prosecutors will push the envelope and they will start pushing and acting and doing things like defense attorneys. But in civil or criminal cases, no, you have to face some judiciary misconduct, and I think you mean like ethical sanctions or something like that. You've really got to fuck things up. Generally speaking, a lack of candor to the court, not just a lack of candor, because a lot of attorneys have gotten in trouble for lying to the court over the years and have been punished for it. But I mean a severe lack of candor. Witness impropriety. I mean, it takes a lot to get reported. It takes to get a lot to report to your state bar or your disciplinary council or your Supreme Court, whoever's in charge of governing you and regulating you. And then at that point, it's still another hurdle for you to actually get sanctioned and officially reprimanded. So no, in this case, they haven't done anything that bad. That beginning thing with the tweet and where they got the lady and they smoked her out with the incorrect evidence, oops, are bad. I mean, you are allowed a little bit of leeway, and that's, I think, just the legal profession itself. Come on. But you really have to screw up. You have to make it your work to get in serious trouble. I assume that's what you're getting at. There are no more depositions in this trial. Those are done. I don't know. It's something it's not on my cards, but it is something I thought about doing, and I've actually probably in the next week, well, the next couple of weeks, once I get some stuff cleared up, I'm probably going to contact the Supreme Court of Ohio and their governing body, who's in charge of regulating attorney conduct, and ask them if that's improper advertising. Because I think it's hilarious as hell, and I want to do it. But I would rather ask them and them tell me no, because you don't want to do it and then they call you or send you a letter saying, hey, Sean, come on down to Columbus. We need to talk. I don't want to make that drive because that's not a good thing. Well, thanks for stopping by, Minx. I appreciate it. Well, yeah, and especially in a case like this, controlling the evidence, there are so many exhibits, and she's not controlling it. She's trying to keep track of it all. I mean, you've heard them. There's exhibits with four-digit numbers. I mean, there's so much crap involved. If they were doing this with paper exhibits, there would just be like a wall of banker boxes behind them. You could build a fortress out of, but thankfully they can use it all on the internet or all digitally. Yeah, judicial, yes, any sanctions against an attorney would be very severe. Don't push like Binger, yeah. So, let me... I'm not sure what you mean, but I guess I'll try to answer it. There are times where something happens, side jumps up, says, objection, judge says, overruled, sustained. There are times where it's very clear what's going on, and the judge probably has the correct idea and can make the ruling immediately. There are times where the judge is going to say, hey, what's your grounds? Because it might be multiple things, and some of them may be valid, some are not valid. You could argue different rules, especially for hearsay. You could argue like a present sense impression, effect on the hearer, any number of things that are going on there. Excited utterances. You can argue those things. You could argue relevance. You could argue foundation. The judge is going to make you answer that. But sometimes objection and the judge will, everybody knows what's being asked. Even the other side knows what you're asking and getting at. You object. Overruled, you keep going. You're like, fuck. Okay. Or you're like, objection, judge me like sustained, and the person up front's like, damn it. And then they got to figure out what they're doing. Sometimes it's not a big deal. Sometimes you throw a little bit of a wrench into the process. But they don't have to give reasons every time. Neither does the other side. Like I said, sometimes it's very obvious what's going on, especially to, the attorneys and people involved. No, you're very welcome. Yeah, Binger didn't get disbarred, but even then, I just did an appeal. I wrote an appeal for a guy where the prosecutor, in his closing arguments, discussed the post-arrest silence of the defendant at trial. That's a no-no. You're not allowed to comment on somebody's post-arrest silence. Why? Because you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say, they can't comment on your silence. But if you say anything, it can be used against you. But if you decline to speak, that can't be used against you. They can't use it against you to infer guilt, and that's what that prosecutor did. The prosecutor in the case I had, he explicitly said, this guy had every chance to clear it up. He had the chance to man up and tell everybody what happened, give his side of the story, but he sat there and didn't say anything. I mean, that blew my mind the prosecutor said that. Now, do I think it was malicious? He thought, oh, ha, 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 I'm going to do it. No, I mean, sometimes you get carried away and you fuck up. But yeah, Binger didn't, and yes, Binger was very malicious. But remember, it's governing bodies try not to get in the way of attorneys unless they really, really, really screw up. And this became more of a political thing than just a legal thing for Binger. So I understand courts wanting to stay out of that. Johnny's right-hand man, yeah, that's Ben Chu with the blue and yellow striped tie. Yeah, he's lead counsel. They've got a plan. Yeah, Avenatti had to get really far. He had to get caught committing extortion against Nike before he really got in trouble. Yeah, I need t-shirts. Yeah. That is something I've been thinking about too as well, working on that. Oh wow, there's more comments here. Okay. Buy a poster of that quote. Yeah, I mean, think about. Okay, let me say it like this. Yeah, they lost track of their exhibits. I mean, I've been in trials where there's like 10 exhibits, and the prosecutor and I, or defense counsel and I, have like fucked that up, and we've like messed things up, or the judge has gotten out of order on just like 10 things. So the fact they've only had a couple of problems and they've had a couple of hundred exhibits so far, that's actually pretty impressive. And they're bouncing around their name. They're not even sequentially numbered, or like A's and, one side using A and B, alphanumeric, and the other side using numbers. And then they've got ones where there's like the exhibits are labeled with different things involved in them. Everything's got its own title and label. That's just insane. Like, they've done a great job at evidence control and exhibit control. But yeah, like, you go to a court and watch like, a murder trial with like 15, 20 exhibits, and they'll screw that up. So I would give everybody a little bit of a chance on that one. Yeah, well, no, there's roughly like 30 some hours left on each side, they said. There's like 35 hours and 36 hours total. But Amber's team has burned through a lot of their time so far. She says she's gonna cut them off. But I don't really know if she's got the, the balls to do that, because that could be an appealable issue, and that could really blow the case up. But if they're nowhere near close, yeah, I could, she's the judge. It's her courtroom. She could do what she wants. And then maybe she gets appealed. I don't know. But yeah, I would not want to test her to find out she's joking. They should assume she's definitely for real about that one. But anyways, yeah, MF, Bo, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. When the Crumleys go to court, their lawyer loads up the table with files of post-it notes of many colors to make it look like they're super on top of everything. For some attorneys, that's how they organize. They are very, like, OCD and a little bit, autistic about that. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean they're very special about how they do it. I'm not going to lie, when it comes to trial, yeah, I throw up a book or two, and, I come in there with a big binder of everything organized. Part of that's for ease of me referencing through it, but also it looks good. It looks like I'm on top of this, and I'm serious, and I'm about it, and it looks good to the jury. I mean, remember what I said, guys. This is about sales. You want to look the part. You want your salesman to look good. Look like he knows what he's doing. Oh, I didn't see... Oh, yes. Loretta Silver member. Yes. I did not see that before, but anyways, welcome. I saw the quote on a picture of a billboard on Reddit ages ago. You probably have. I don't think I'm probably like I'm the first guy to come up with that, but... At least around here, I haven't seen it on a billboard, so that's good enough. What if any? Yeah, those are horrible. Those are horrible questions. You guys do not. The way Elaine's doing it is horrible. If you do it right, you're helping that person tell a story. But the problem is, Amber probably sucks at this, and they know there's issues with her being able to recount everything. So they're trying to give her as much room as possible. I did not know they resubmitted it. I'll take a look at that, and we could probably talk about it next week. And sometimes judges, it's not just... There are times where in certain courtrooms, the judges are handling other things while they're running a trial. So Sometimes there are some judges who they just focus on what's going on around them. But yeah, just like anybody else, sometimes they space out and they're like, oh, I gotta catch up. She probably would eat a puppy. No, Amber still has to finish. We haven't gotten to the part where somebody pooped in the bed yet. So we're only to the James Corden show. So cross will not happen right away, but it probably will happen, I bet, by lunch on the next Monday. Only 5,000 subs. I need to chill harder on Ricada streams. Or Legal Bites. Hey, you know what? You rewind the clock to like a month ago, I was like at 800. So I'll take this for right now. If you want to see a chart of my growth, if this were a stock, you would be terrified of buying it right now and you'd be selling. Yes, relatively speaking, it's new. They will go longer. I'd like to think so, and I think the judge will ultimately do that, but once again, I don't want to push her luck. You don't want to find out that you're wrong. You can't afford to find out that you're wrong. So I would make sure that I'm adhering to her limits as much as possible. No, rebuttal's not going to eat up as much time as you'd think, because with rebuttal, they've already said their points, and you could focus in on, like, boom, boom, this witness, boom, we're going to kill it with that point. This witness, like, pow, we're going to get that one, and we're going to bring in this witness, and he's going to come over here and just, you start poking holes, and you start pinpointing things. Just given the scope of Johnny's witnesses, they can cover a lot of the area Amber's going to cross. And there might be witnesses we don't know about yet who get to be brought in on rebuttal. Rebuttal, you're not required to provide notice, just like impeachment. Anything impeachment-wise, you don't have, is not part of discovery. You can just be like, boom, here you go. Yeah, she said that today, but I'd like to think she wouldn't do that. Cheryl, I 100% agree, but remember, like I said, I'm not brave enough. Ben Chew and Rottenborn might look at each other. They might have a meeting one day and say, you know what, fuck this judge. We're going to do what we want. They come in there and, whip their dicks out and slap them on the table and be like, listen, judge, here's the score. Maybe they will. They might be braver than I am. When the judge tells me, like, don't feed the bears, I'm not feeding the bears. When's the 5K party stream? I don't know. Figure something out. Yeah, next week I'll do the Petito refiling. I'm curious. I didn't know that got refiled, but yeah, I will look for that. The judge got locked in. Yeah, the judge can say, look, I changed my mind. That's now leading. She can do that. Because remember, she's a judge. And she can say, look, I did some research and it turns out that's not the right way to answer a question. Now, she can do that. The judge can go home tonight, and let's say there was court tomorrow, she could open up her books and be like, hey, I did some reading on evidentiary issues. Finally, I learned the rules of evidence. You can't do that anymore. This case prohibits that. Or, I just decided. And then Amber's team would be hurting for figuring out what they're going to do. Love your take, buddy. Thank you. I appreciate it. Stay with Team Nick. Guys, there really isn't a split. It's just, Alita was doing a thing, but a lot of people wanted Nick to do it, so he started covering it too. And I think it just over the past couple of days, it's just worked out more that I've been on Nick's more than Alita's. But before, like last week, I was on Alita's quite a bit. I'll probably stop on hers, when we start back up. But also, it's different kinds of viewership. Like Nick was kind of saying, I think it was night sometime. As mentioned before, it's kind of like a shock jock. And Alita's different style, different fan base. Different people tend to watch her. So it's, that's just how it is. I just said pooped in the bed. Yes, I did. Amber pooped in the bed. She coiled up a big old turd in their bed. which that takes some dedication. Any witness that's subject to recall can be recalled. So any of Amber's witnesses that get subject to recall can be recalled. But let's say there was a witness, let's say Amber's dog walker was called up and she testified, but she got released. Johnny's team would have to serve her with a subpoena before she got out of town. But by this point, let's say she was like the first witness and she already went back to LA. Nope, she's gone. Generally speaking, you're only going to be able to pull from the pool of people who are probably around, because if they're subject to recall, they're nearby, which means you can get a process server to go over and serve them with your subpoena, and then you could drag them into court. But anything that they want from to hurt Amber, they probably can get out of their own people, if I had to guess. Grift, yeah, grift. Can't believe I got in the YouTube chat until after COVID. The grift always flows. Stay with Team Nick, okay. I'm glad I did. So Stabby, I need to be like this. Still figuring this out. I didn't know if I'd mic that far. But yeah, I can do it like this. Let me know if that's better. I'll work on that. I appreciate the positive critique. And there's a couple people have commented, hey, when you're doing X, Y, and Z, or you're bumping the mic, or you should try this or that. If you guys ever think there's something you think I should try to do, yeah, send me an email. I'd be happy to think about it. And if it turns out I think you're right, I'll do it. If I think you're wrong, I'll ignore it. But yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. Amber row out into the North Atlantic. Yeah, I think that's the best thing for her at this point. You want to visit the scenes and taste the $500 wine? Yeah, that'd be a great jury question. Yes, Your Honor, we'd like to taste some of this wine. We'd like to spend the night in Johnny's penthouse. That's actually a good question. I hope you all have subscribed. I don't know. Nick's gonna, whenever Nick invites me back on, that's up to him. It's his show. I think, yeah, this time I could probably do it. I would also probably just have to make sure I slow down the alcohol intake. By the end, I was a little by that point. But yeah, if I was just drinking, some water, just some, iced tea, I'd probably give it a shot. But, like I said, it's up to Nick. So if he ever has me back on, that'd be fun. It was a really fun time the first time. There should be no surprises, really. They had a similar trial, but remember, Amber didn't testify, and for what she did, nobody knows what she said. But it also sounds like she said all kinds of crap nobody knew about. The bottle thing, the Russia thing. So that makes it almost entirely new. Because remember, it comes down to Amber. Amber is really the critical part of this. And these people like her sister and all these other people, now they got to know what Amber said if she said all this crazy shit and they didn't know about it. Oof. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I wish the judge and the Depp trial would learn about objections. Overall today she did really good. When Camille was throwing them out, the judge was sustaining them left and right. So. Oh, with the Brophy trial, they had a forced break because they got too far ahead. Oh, I thought there was a COVID issue. Yeah, sometimes they try to line things up and keep things going in an orderly fashion. That's very rare that trials run ahead of time. They're either on time or they're horribly late. But yeah, that's pretty cool if they're running ahead of schedule. That would actually be something to remember. I think that's fair. Yep. Yes, very based and unbreaded. How dare I not pick a tribe? I'm my own tribe. I'm my own cowboy. I'm watching like 5 channels on 3 screens. Like right now, jeez. Johnny called it a grumpy. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems weird. Like, I mean, I've heard it called a growler, but I've never heard it called a grumpy. Yeah, maybe after this is over, I probably will. But, it's already 11, and yeah, we're almost, soon we'll wrap that up. If Amber's domestic violence is allowed to come in and she denies it, could they have her ex come in for rebuttal? They could, but remember, you have to find her. She's not in Virginia. You have to serve her with a subpoena that you have to get in whatever. I'm pretty sure it's still in California. You have to get a California court to, get through all of that. And then she still has to show up. So that's the first problem. Second problem, is she going to turn on Amber, who's her ex? I don't know. And even if she told Johnny's team in advance, yeah, you know what? I'll come in, I'll burn her down. That's a wild card because people have been in relationships with each other. You can't. Maybe she walks in there all of a sudden in the back of her mind, she says, you know what? I forgot how much I loved her. Now I see her. Or she walks in and says, oh my God, fuck this bitch. You don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. So I don't think you need the ex. You can bring it in different ways. Heck, you could use the officer who arrested her. But just bringing up, Amber, is it true that you were arrested for domestic violence? The jury's going to know you know the answer and you're asking her because you know it. And then you watch her try to deny it. There's probably ways they can bring stuff up, including maybe booking or other evidence. Jeez, you guys are like... God, I haven't start turning on slow mode in a second. I want to hear that 5-hour recording Johnny took. Yeah, that would be interesting to hear. Just don't eat the mic with directional mics. Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is, what's it called? Toner, I don't know. It was on Amazon for like $45. That's why I got it. I'm not spending like $1,000 on this crap. I'm not to the point where I need that kind of quality equipment. Dear God, don't ever ask chat for feedback. Yeah. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. Her ex said the cop that arrested Amber did it because he was bigoted. Yeah, except that cop that arrested Amber is a lesbian member of the LGBT community, so it's really hard for them to claim discrimination. Yeah, especially because they probably had a really good dedication and good balance because they probably had a really comfy mattress. So, it's probably one of those ones where like you jump up and down, the wine doesn't spill, but, you sink into it a little bit. Oh, that would be fun. Brandon Herrera is cool. I love watching his stuff. That would be fun to have him on. It's She Demon. Yeah, that's her current role. I said to my mom, the face of domestic violence was drinking $500 of wine a day. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Yeah, Stabby, I'll work on that. I just need to... Yeah, I got to work on that. I'll figure that out. I mean, I've only been doing this really for a couple of months. But, yeah, this is... I appreciate it. I'll work on that. I'll work on keeping this closer. It just seems weird because when I do that, it's almost like I'm hiding behind it and you can't really kind of see me. And I feel like I'm not sure if part of that's supposed to be you should be able to see me or what. But, yeah, I'll work on that. Thank you. She pretty much said he did grab her by her pussy. It's sad, Nick said. There's only one way down when you're digging oil. I don't know in respect to what. I didn't hear him say in reference to what. Okay, so it was a COVID issue in the Brophy trial. Yeah, my mods, Gabby, Critter, and Matthew, they're great. They do an awesome job. They are super good. I mean, I got lucky. I found some guys who do their job and are awesome about it. Because I know there's some channels, I'm not going to say which ones, where the mods apparently fight each other all the time and talk shit the whole time, which is hilarious to watch, but is going to suck if you're running your channel with a couple 100,000 subscribers. Yeah, she's going to be the star because she's going in to do the dirty work. I mean, she's going to do the big hit. She's got the big target. I mean, so we'll see how good she does. Hair care products aren't cheap. I guess I'll tell you the truth. I don't use hair care products. I mean, this is, I get out of the shower, dry it up and try to get all the loose crap down. That's it. I don't really use any product. Okay, so both things happen. That's fine. Not surprised. What do I think about the primary results from yesterday in Ohio? I mean, if I was going to bet on people, it was going to be Ryan and Vance. It's going to be those two. This election is going to be ridiculous. Like, it's going to come down to the wire in the Senate race. DeWine's probably going to win again. I'm not a big fan of DeWine, but he's probably going to win. Just the reality of it. So, I mean, that's kind of how I look at it. As far as, like, who I like, I try to stay away from that if I don't have to talk about it too much, unless I'm trying to jokingly be a joker about it. But if you've heard me speak before, you probably have an idea where I lie, and it may not be necessarily where I want to go, but you probably have an idea which way I'll vote. Yeah, I've heard it called a growler too. Yeah, never grumpy. Yeah, I don't. Who knows? Is the Brophy trial online? I think so, but it's just, I mean, it's not like out in the normal places I was looking. But it already started, and it's weird to start a case, to start in on a trial now after things are going. So I kind of, yeah. And also, guys, as far as things go next week, we're going to look to see what's starting next week for trials. There's got to be something. I know Sarah Boone has a pre-trial on Monday morning. I don't know if there's going to be anything aired about that, but we'll try to find something to talk about if we can do it. Normally, if you're new here, I'll try to stream a trial. Usually I do a pretty good job of being able to comment on it as I go if I'm either at home or I'm stuck in the office. There are some days where I'm running around like a chick with my head cut off doing stuff in court, so you won't see me, except for probably at the beginning and end of the day. But we'll find out. I don't know for sure what's set for next week. I think Ryan Duke might be an interesting one, but he still might be doing jury selection for a while. Yeah, this one, it involves what happened with Amber, but it's whether or not the Sun had the right to use Amber as a reliable source. And they did. If that was here in America and it was whatever newspaper, boom, they would have won automatically. It would have got dismissed and thrown out. That's why the Washington Post isn't being sued. They are completely protected. They have every right to believe Amber. She came across as credible back then. Knowing what they know now, any news outlets or people who believe in Amber, yeah, you're going to be screwed because she's clearly not credible anymore. You're not on YouTube for 14 hours a day. I'm not, and I'm not sure I ever want to be that person. I like doing attorney stuff to an extent, so I don't know if I'd ever give that up all the way. Hold on. Are you saying... Hold on, Stabby. Okay. Does it sound better now? Better. Okay, we're going to do it like the optometrist. Better 1. Better 2. Better 1. Better 2. Let me know. Let me know which one's better. Because apparently now people are saying it sounds better. Jeez. I've had it on the shitty side the whole time, damn it. That's 1,000 Canadian dollar. Oh, the mic. Yes, thank you. Perjury. Okay. Oh, what can happen in Johnny's side? Oh, Johnny's attorneys could talk to him. He's allowed to do whatever he wants. Johnny's not on the stand. There's a concern that no one trying to shape Amber's testimony or misdirect it or shape it anymore. Amber's stuck with what she's got going on. Johnny could sit there in a room with Ben Chu and Camille, and they can all sit there and bullshit about what's going to go on and come up with a game plan. They could sit down with Johnny and say, look, if we have to put you back up there after Amber's done, here's the things we've talked about. What can you tell us about boom, 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 boom? Have you ever heard this Russia thing? Did you stick a bottle up her hoo-ha? They can go through all that with Johnny. They are freely allowed to talk to him right now. I mean, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. There's no rules on him. Also, if you guys have noticed, I received a request from somebody that I know very well who said I should probably not swear as much, and I'm really trying to work on that. Yes, per Ricada, all mods are gay. My mods are pretty cool, though. I love my mods. My mods do a great job. Thank you. No, okay, and I get what you're getting at, Fisty. Yes, there's people, I know guys who are mechanics, and the last thing they want to do when they get home is go wrench on their own stuff or wrench on somebody else's stuff. Other tradesmen, or if you're a doctor, last thing you want to do is hear about what's going on with somebody else's stuff or their neighbors, their knee hurts. You don't want to do that. Yeah, I enjoy it. I think it's fun. I enjoy talking about the stuff that goes on. I like talking about my job. Maybe that's because I'm a little self-centered and egotistical and a bit of a prima donna. Who knows? Probably a little bit. But no, I enjoy it. I enjoy talking to people about stuff that happens in the law. It's a lot of fun, especially the criminal stuff. It's fun. It's interesting, and it's kind of cool. And it's stuff most people don't get to deal with, so you can tell them new things. But yes, I really do. I can understand you not wanting to watch somebody do that. That would probably be a little weird. Although generally when it's usually chicks collecting horse semen. I mean, usually that's what's on the hubs. 7-Eleven was a part-time job. Yeah. Oh, God, I fell behind again. Damn, you guys are going too fucking fast. There's too many of you now. It's okay, yeah. Yeah, it's on a news station feed. Hey, Jacob, how you doing? Yeah, well, generally, I really don't have a limitation on speech. I just want everybody respect each other in there, but, like, if you want to act like a dick and go buck wild, come at me. I'm fine with that. Stabby, I request more swearing. Side one sounds better. Fight me, chat. Well, you know what? If I'm on, I'll let chat fight. Round one, fight. Side one sounds better. Okay, so hold on here. Oh, fuck. God damn it to fucking hell, I was muted. That's not fair because I unplugged it. It probably... Hold on. Yeah, when you mess with it, it mutes. God damn it. I unplugged it so you guys didn't have to hear me fuck with it. Shit. I was catching up. I was only like 2 or 3 minutes behind now. Rock Chalk Lawhawk. Okay. Pulling him to breaking his mic. You guys are assholes. Hold on, let me... I live in a hell of my own construction. I've built this hell. Oh my God, it came back with... God damn it. Oh, fuck me. Well, at least the judge said I did a really good job today. So, I mean, yeah. Thanks, Gabby. Oh. The sound is good, though. Bro, this is amazing. Yeah, I know. It's amazing. Jesus. Always watch the chat. Well, I was like a couple of minutes behind. I was trying to catch up. I'm not used to having so many people here. I need to get better about just boom, boom, catching up as I go. I don't try to run over people because some of you guys might have something important. Presented without comment. Okay, so, yeah, guys, we're at the 2-hour mark. I try to do an hour and a half, but I always try to cut it off at 2. That's, more than enough time for me to talk, especially if I'm starting to mess up now. I don't want to mute longer than that. Thank you very much, Fisty. I appreciate it. Wouldn't be if it wouldn't happen. That's okay. That's okay. It all worked out in the end. What am I drinking? I am drinking tonight, kind of like Crystal Light iced tea and J&B Scotch. Kind of the cheap rock gut, but hey, you know, I'm not going to use the good stuff here. I had no idea. I was just talking along in the world. I had no idea what was going on. I've been on with Nick. You know, if he ever wants to invite me on, I'm more than happy to go back on. I enjoyed it. Seemed like he enjoyed it because he invites me on his streams during the day, so it's up to him. No, I saw your super chat. Do the 5. Did you see my idea for next trial if nothing is new? No, I did not see it. Throw it back in there again. I may have gone past it. I won't end this to make sure. Oh, I do have better liquor. I'm just not using it right now. Thank you. I appreciate it, Lord Typhus. Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, I might do something like that. We'll see. I've had that idea before, but yeah, that's fair. there's generally always something somewhere, but yeah, we'll come up with something. I think maybe I'll have to figure that out. I will say it kind of worked out this week. And besides doing Amber and Johnny, I've been busy when I haven't been doing that. So, yes, the mods are gay. Yes, chemtrails are very, very real. I do agree. So on that note, I guess we'll end chemtrails being real. Guys, thank you again tonight. I appreciate it. Appreciate everybody. The super chats, thank you. I appreciate it. But everybody who just commented, I appreciate it so very much. I guess we'll start the streak over again next week. 1 week without muting, and we'll go from there. So guys, just remember until next time. Yeah. Just remember until next time, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty or muted. Oh.